To everyone, we're starting Be'ezrat Hashem, continuing the laws of Kiddush at the Medina's family. We want to wish everybody, all the participants, the God will bless you with all the good blessings in the Torah, Mishnah and the Gemara. Give whoever needs refuah shelema. Give you all nachat from all your children. And parnasah, easy livelihood. And long life with good health. You should respond always and same to you.
The same to you.
Thank you guys, you're so nice. You're so polite for thinking of me. Thank you. The halacha is to say, v'chen lemar. The accent, Yemenite accent, or Ashkenazi Yemen, you say v'chen lemor. Because there's a kamaz. V'chen lemar, also to you. Mar is like Mr. Okay? One of the rabbis in the Talmud blesses his friend with good wealth. And years later, he met him again and he says, you know, you become very rich. So he asked him, he told him, you know, I'm upset with you. He says, why? He said, because when I blessed you with good wealth, that was at times of will. And the Shamayim at that point were open. And my request was accepted. And if you just respond with saying, same to you, I would be worthy to say. V'chen, and also, v'chen, vav, chav, nun, v'chen lemor, and also to Monsieur Labon. Merci beaucoup. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהכל נהיה בדברו. Shkoyach. So, there's a lot, many questions in regards to Kiddush that people are not aware of. For example, what do you do? What is the right order? What do you do if you wash your hands first? What do you do if you go to a family, but you don't really understand the guy that's saying a Kiddush? You don't understand the word he's saying. He's either stuttering, or is mumbling, or you sit far away and you can't really hear, or is switching between the resh and chaf and chet and ayin. What you going to do? Normally in many houses what they do, they ask you as a guest if you would like to do your own Kiddush. So people saying, most of them places that I saw, saying, no, that's okay, I fulfill mitzvah by hearing you, which is correct. But what will be the case if he's not even offering? Some people are really sometimes offering out of courtesy, not courtesy, out of they're being polite. You know? But what if he's not asking? You don't have a choice, and there's no cup of wine before you, and you know when you're not listening, or you can't hear, or there is this guy is not pronouncing the word correctly, you definitely like fulfill the mitzvah. What are you going to do? You're going to miss Kiddush for that day? How can you eat without Kiddush?
Well, can you just say, do you mind if I just say my own Kiddush? Address that?
It's okay, so you're suggesting that you may ask him. So some people take offense for that. People say, oh, it's like, my Kiddush is not good for you. In many cases, people are not really asking. They don't feel comfortable to ask. It's not polite in some places. So what you're going to do? There's a solution for it. Without Hashem, we'll see how we can override this kind of situation. So, another question Be'ezrat Hashem we're going to discuss, it turns out, I have a guy that went to a very far Kansas. And he lives there, and sometimes they get stuck, no wine. Definitely the first time they got there, Shabbat is up, went to the store. All the wine there is not kosher. What is he going to do? Shabbat's coming. They're all davening at home. There's no Bet Knesset, no synagogue. They pray at home. What they are going to do? We'll see. Answer the question. Okay, that's part of the question we're going to deal with today. So we've learned last time that it's a very special mitzvah, and you get a special reward when you beautify Hashem's mitzvot. In the Musar, we're going to study a little bit about something from Kabbalah, how we can destroy the sitra achad, the other force, and chitzonim, they can't harm you. And it's called or hamakif, or hapnimi, the inside, the internal light, or the outside light. How we can fight it. It's a little bit connected to what we are studying right now. So we've learned that there's something called hidur mitzvah, and you want to beautify the mitzvah. You have a Shabbos table. You have a Shabbat table. Shabbat shulchan Shabbat. You have a lot of food and salads and good things around it. What are you doing?
Me?
Let maybe sit over there. Maybe you move one. You move one seat. No, you should. So we've learned that it's a mitzvah. You know, you're adding flowers to the table. It's a mitzvah. You're putting special food for Shabbat. It's a mitzvah. It is beautiful practice to adorn the dining table, as we learned last time. Okay, so the procedure is after davening, you go home, you sing Shalom Aleichem, and then you start with a Kiddush. After Shalom Aleichem, Eshet Chayil, Vayichulu, Gefen, you follow what it says in the Siddur. Amen. The mitzvah, you know, the German community, what they do, they wash their hands before Kiddush. I just learned about it, and I always learn about it, and one time I had the opportunity to practice that, and to see it. I was invited to a family that they do Netilat Yadayim before, and I was very interesting to see that. So I was studying, now I can really see that on site, you can see people practicing it. This is not our custom, and it can cause a lot of problems. What kind of problems? We'll see. We'll see. The mitzvah, you should know that it's the ruling of the Rav Amram Gaon, the Rif, the Rambam, and the Shulchan Aruch, is that one should recite Kiddush before washing hands in order to eat bread. This is the common practice among all Sephardi communities and many Ashkenazi communities. I think the mass majority. Anyone who has the practice of washing hands before reciting Kiddush should discontinue that practice.
Even if it's without beracha?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay? If you just want to wash your hands for the sake of hygiene, just to have them clean, you may do so. Not for the sake of mitzvah. Because when you're washing hands with a natla, with the cup, you're actually making a statement. And the statement is that I'm about to eat bread. You wash before you eat bread. Now you don't wash before you drink wine. So that statement make a whole bread now take precedence and take first priority before the wine. So if you already make such a decision, what you're going to do with the wine? How you can make a Kiddush over a wine? We already make a decision that you're going to wash for bread. So we'll see what's going to be the case in that. Now, many poskim rule that we fulfill the Torah obligation of Kiddush during the Arvit prayer, since we recite the passage in the Arvit describing the sanctity of Shabbat. We are still obligated to recite Kiddush over wine at the meal, but that is no longer a Torah-ordained obligation, but only a rabbinical one, which is still obligation, right? Because of this, when one is unsure whether one has properly fulfilled the mitzvah of Kiddush over wine, one may be lenient and assume that the mitzvah was fulfilled. This is because the halacha treats uncertainties in rabbinic law leniently. One example of this, we have it right here. Someone is a guest for Shabbat with a family that is unlearned, and he suspects that the host does not have intentions when reciting Kiddush to recite Yeshua on behalf of those listening to him. And when I do Kiddush, so what I do, I always tell the people, I have you in mind, and you please have me in mind to fulfill the mitzvah of Kiddush by listening to me. It's also a great mitzvah to look at the candles, protect your eyes for good health. Okay? While you do, saying the word Yom HaShishi. When you finish with Yom HaShishi v'chol ha'shamayim ha'aretz v'chol tzava'am, and he turns to say Savrei Maranon, then you turn from the candles and you look at the cup. Which is from Kabbalah, you don't have to do it. Now, he is in the house, one is in the house that he doesn't know this guy, know anything about intention, no intention, have me in mind, have himself in mind. What I'm going to do here? The host might not be aware of that halachic requirement. In such a case, the guest may assume that the host does indeed have the correct intentions, since the guest has already fulfilled his Torah obligation of Kiddush when he prayed Arvit. Likewise, if someone cannot remember whether he recited Kiddush or not, he may assume that he did, as long as he remembers that he has prayed Arvit. Okay, nevertheless, it is recommended that someone in this situation find a person who definitely needs to recite Kiddush for himself and ask him to recite it, having both of them in mind. Yes, if one has not yet prayed Arvit and questions such as these arises, one should pray Arvit with the express intention of fulfilling the mitzvah of Kiddush. While reciting the passage about Shabbat, it is recommended that one add the words Zecher lemaaseh bereshit u'liyitziat Mitzrayim. That's it. That's very easy. No wine. No wine. What am I going to do? I'm sitting on a table and there's only bread. Go ahead.
You can say Kiddush over bread in that circumstance.
Very good. 2 points. Are you taking notes? How many points you have so far?
Am I taking notes?
Yeah.
My assistant is taking notes.
Okay, very good. How many points you have so far? 2. Very good.
I have 28.
You have 28?
Yes.
Okay. To fulfill the rabbinical ordinance mitzvah of Kiddush over wine, one must drink more than a half revi'it of wine. What is half revi'it? I would say 1.90 ounces.
1.9.
Okay. To be exact, 1.89. But you remember 1.90. Let's say almost 2 ounces. That's the minimum required revi'it, which is around 54 grams.
Right, because Revi'it is 3 ounces, or around 3 ounces, right?
Around 3 ounces, a little bit less. If it's a cup like this, it's up to here. It's really, really very little. Okay, we already demonstrated, we have a video, we demonstrated that, I think it's on YouTube, when we have a video showing how much you should drink for Pesach, 4 cups.
Oh, yeah.
The Revi'it. Okay, remember we did with the maror, we did the matzah, we did with the cup. No fine. If there is no wine available in the city, and it happens all the time, people traveling far away, business, whatever, they stuck, there is no wine, you cannot buy the regular grape juice, even if it says 100%, as long as it doesn't have a kosher symbol, because grape juice have a different status. It's already become considered as wine. So other beverages, such as orange juice, if it's 100%, you may buy it even without a kosher symbol. It's 100% pressed from, okay. But in regards to grapes, it has to be kosher.
Has to have a hitcher.
Has to have hechsher. Okay. So what you're going to do?
If you accidentally get the triangle K.
Okay. If you accidentally have the
Yeah. You accidentally got the triangle K. You just, you grabbed it because it said Mogen David, and you said, okay, this is good. But then when you get home, you see it's triangle K.
So triangle K and Mogen David is not recommended kosher certification, kosher supervision for us. It's not recommended. So you may give it to someone. You don't have to throw it away or toss it. Just give it to someone that can enjoy from it. What are you going to do? There's no wine.
So do it with the bread, right?
If there is no wine available in the city, or if wine is bad for one's health, there's wine, but he can't drink it. He's either diabetic, or the doctor says you're taking medications, you can't drink wine. He's by himself, I'm talking about, right? I'm not talking about someone that can do Kiddush, he's just listening for him. He's by himself.
Right.
One should recite Kiddush over the bread, reciting the blessing over of a motzi in place of the blessing of Hagefen. So you don't say Hagefen over the bread, because Hagefen is related to wine. You just skip this part of Baruch Atah Hashem Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri Hagefen. You have to skip, you just say Motzi lechem min haaretz. If any family member or guest present is present and capable of drinking more than half of revi'it of wine, one should recite Kiddush over wine. Take a slight sip and give the cup to the person to drink more than a half revi'it. So you're still obligated to do the Kiddush. Remember we said we can hold it now. This way is the best way. If you can't, you should hold it that way. Okay? You probably can do it with one finger like this, right?
Spinning.
Yeah, spinning it. Like spinner. Don't try it at home. By the way, you can do it with one finger and spin it. But you have to make a hole. And it has to be empty. Okay. Okay, we saw that. Okay, question. Okay.
Were you asking me? Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you have a question?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're doing it over the bread, you do first wash your hand, you say the hamotzi, and go right into the kiddush, is my understanding.
Okay, correct. That's correct. That's correct.
So you did say
You must do netilat yadayim, because after saying the beracha of the bread, you have to eat from it.
Right. So you okay.
So,
So two questions here. So the reason why I was asking about doing netilat yadayim before doing kiddush is because I was reading in the blue book. It says to wash hands whenever you drink certain what's called liquids, and one of them is yain. But I guess it's
no.
No.
There is a halacha saying that there's a list of beverages that when you dip food in it,
it's when you did. Okay.
you have to wash your hands.
Okay,
And it's called yad shachat dam.
Okay.
So if you dip it on wine or honey or tal, which is dew, and milk and oil or blood.
Right.
Okay, it can be either blood of fish or either blood of a human being or non-kosher blood, in case someone needs for refuah. Sometimes it's non-kosher. It happens. Okay, question.
Okay, yeah.
Now, I'm sorry.
Then the last.
Let's go ahead because.
Okay, sorry. The last one is. So you said if someone forgets that if they said the kiddush or not, someone else can do it for them. So could the wife do it?
Okay. Be patient with my next halacha.
Oh, okay.
Woman. Say woman. Yes. Woman obligated kiddush. There is no husband in the house. She's by herself. She's not married, or whatever. Are they obligated, or she has to have a man and she's exempt from kiddush? What the halacha has to say about it? So the halacha says the following: women are obligated in the mitzvah of kiddush just as men are. It's a mitzvah from the Torah. The general rule is that women are not obligated to perform mitzvot which are limited to a certain time of day. It's time bound, right?
Right.
A certain day or days of the week. or a certain date of the year, with some exemptions, like Passover. Okay. Although the mitzvah of Kiddush falls into the category, that category, why? Because you do Kiddush on a certain day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
Our sages taught us that in this case, women are nevertheless obligated. They derive this halacha using the following interpretation of the verse of the Torah, in the version of the Ten Commandments, as recorded in the Torah portion of Yitro. The Torah says, I'm quoting, remember the Shabbat day to sanctify it. The version is in the Torah portion of I don't know how to spell it here. Vetaman. Hold on a second. The version of the Torah, in the Torah portion of
It's English?
oh Vayetchanan. It's spelled like as when Yitro is on Vayetchanan, it's on Vayetchanan. Anyway, Vayetchanan, it's the name of a parasha, says, observe the Shabbat day to sanctify it. Our sages taught that Hashem spoke those two versions simultaneously. Based on this, they ruled that whoever is obligated in the mitzvah of observing Shabbat, meaning to refrain from performing acts of melacha, is obligated also in the mitzvah to remember Shabbat by reciting Kiddush. Women are surely obligated to refrain from performing acts of melacha, just as men are. Since women are obligated to observe Shabbat, they are obligated in the mitzvah of Kiddush as well. So maybe I should not really just tell you this. In a nutshell, bottom line, women are obligated because they're obligated to keep Shabbat and not break Shabbat and do any melacha. They're obligated for the mitzvot to do during Shabbat. Still, they don't have to come to shul and listen to a Torah reading. They don't have to do prayers over what they do every day. But in the mitzvah of Kiddush, since it's a mitzvah from the Torah, they are obligated as well. Versteis? Capish? Yefeh. Okay. If you have a note, keep it for now for yourself. Keep it. Anyway.
But this applies to Shabbat.
Can you add some hot water, please? Huh?
This applies to Shabbat, not festivals. A woman would not say Kiddush on festivals that are not Shabbat.
They can do festivals and Shabbat as well.
Oh, they can?
Can.
Are they obligated to do
Can.
festivals as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Obligated to listen to Kiddush as well. For example, in the Sukkot, they're not obligated to be in the Sukkah, but they still obligated to hear Kiddush.
Okay.
They're also obligated after Kiddush and eating, with the gamotzi and eating, to do Birkat HaMazon. And before Birkat HaMazon, there is the Zimun. They are obligated for Zimun as well. And I'm highly recommended you to do Mayim Acharon Zimun, yes. 3 women together, they already have to do Zimun for themselves. Now, if they are sitting with the man, they're listening to the Zimun, they have to reply with whatever is. Okay? Rabosai nevarer, Yishem Amar, they have to reply, Mirvel and Benchen, whatever it says, okay? Now, it's highly recommended, nevertheless, it's not the Ashkenazi minhag, to do Mayim Acharonim. The water, you wash your fingers before Birkat HaMazon, you're not supposed to talk in between. It's not only because the issue with the Sodomic salt, there is on esoteric level reasons. For the Sitra Achad, the Chitzonim, the other force attach itself to the tip of the fingers when the nails are. So this is related to everybody. So if you want to remove it and make yourself clear and clean from other forces, this is one of the best things to do. By the way, saying Kriyat Shema with Kavanah can kill over 1,125. Ariya Kadosh says, Mazikim, those who come to hit you. People have millions and millions that they're creating every day. And there's 4 times an opportunity to say Kriyat Shema a day. It's before the Shacharit, and during Shacharit, And during Arvit is the third time. And the fourth time when you go to sleep. Okay? I think we're going to stop here. We did answer all the questions.
Yes.
Okay, I owe you an answer for a question. Please write that we stopped at yes, we started at page 222, halacha 15. We're going to discuss what's the case if someone is in the hospital, someone that is Ashkenazi go to Sephardi, Sephardi go to Ashkenazi, or both go to Yemenite. The different accents, different way of pronouncing the Kiddush. They are fulfilling the mitzvah, yes or no, or they have to do their own Kiddush. Often I hear people saying, you're Yemenite. Of course, when they invite us, you're obligated to do Kiddush. So I say, you want to do your own Kiddush, you're Yemenite, you probably do. So what do I do? What do I answer? So Hashem, we'll discuss this next week. Right? We have next week? Okay. On behalf of Ohev Israel Foundation, I want to thank everybody. We're going to continue with Musa. We have a very beautiful topic. Or Pnimi, or Hitzani, or Makif. How we can kill and destroy and protect ourselves from the Sitra Achra pretty easily.
חזק וברוך.